Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and good morning to you. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Jeane Franseen. At this hour, we are following breaking news as it relates to the conflict in the Middle East, learning from our content partners over at the Associated Press that the Israeli army has ordered a mass evacuation of Palestinians from much of Khan Younis. It's a sign that troops are likely to launch a new ground assault into the Gaza Strip's second largest city. And at this hour, you can see those evacuations underway as displaced Palestinians are loading the little left that they have onto this truck on your screen. Well, joining us live this morning for this breaking news alert is national security expert at the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Good morning to you, Ken. Thank you for joining us for this breaking news alert, learning that mass evacuations are underway for a potential ground invasion. I guess it just goes to show what you've been saying all along, that maybe this conflict is in fact not scaling back.
Yes, absolutely, Janae. The Israelis have chosen, the IDF has chosen to, instead of clearing and holding areas, they have instead decided to clear an area and then move to another area to clear it of Hamas. The problem with this strategy is that Hamas can return to that area. The Israelis then instead are using what they call mow the grass or mow the lawn. That is, return back to an area and return to it to try to remove Hamas yet once again. That's what we're seeing happen here now. So Khan Younis, which is centrally located in the Gaza Strip, Khan Younis has been ordered to be evacuated because of the return of Hamas. And this includes the European hospital and other tent encampments there in the area of Khan Younis. And they are telling those individuals that have returned to Khan Younis to evacuate over to Muwasi, which is further towards the coastline. This is because of the activity by Hamas in the area. In fact, there is more military actions, kinetic actions going on in the Khan Younis area and up in Gaza City than there is down in Rafah, and yet there is action going on in Rafah involving fierce fighting and tank actions there along the border with Egypt there in Rafah. So there is no place in Gaza City that there is not some type of fighting going on with Hamas, but it seems to have intensified now in Gaza City and towards Khan Younis than it was down in the Rafah area.
Ken, it seems like the timing is perfect for the Associated Press to provide this live look out there in Khan Younis. I mean, you literally see families loading up what little they have left since the war began. I want to ask you, to provide some perspective, several displaced Palestinians at this hour, many of them have nothing to do with this conflict with Hamas and Israel. And, for them to already have moved to an area and to be told, this is the safe place, this is where you can find refuge for this Gaza war, and then now being told to move again, you can only imagine the angst and the frustration that people are dealing with, feeling like there's no safe place.
The number one weapon Hamas is using against Israel are the Palestinian civilians. They are being used as a shield. They are being moved around and put in jeopardy by Hamas. And in the process of doing so, they are able to use them as a weapon against IDF and use them as a weapon and then cry to the world that they are under attack. So Hamas has been very clever as far as their strategy and the use of the civilian population here. And unfortunately for the civilian population, they have no recourse to this. They have no way to stop this from happening. And so Hamas has been using starvation by stopping the delivery of humanitarian aid and by hurting the delivery of humanitarian aid, and they are being hurt by being used as a shield against the IDF. The civilian population has no recourse but to try to find a safe haven, and there are no safe havens in the Gaza Strip.
Ken, there is confusion this morning as to if Israeli Defense Forces are truly making leeway against defeating Hamas. And I ask you that because we know if we look back in time to the last invasion, they were saying, okay, this will be the last invasion. Can you provide that perspective as to why this one might be happening? I know you've compared it to whack-a-mole, how Hamas will, hide in the tunnels, then erupt throughout different places in the Middle East. Is that what we're seeing happen in real time?
So the IDF was talking about that their action down in Rafah was nearly complete, and that was their final area that they needed to clear. And as they were concentrating in on Rafah, the fighting erupted throughout the Gaza Strip, back in Gaza City where it was supposedly cleared, in Khan Younis now where it was supposedly cleared. So this is indeed a case of whack-a-mole. That is, the area is cleared, and then IDF moves on, and then Hamas pops up again. And so the strategy of not clearing and holding an area is hurting the IDF, but the IDF does not have the resources to be able to both clear and hold and then move on to another area. So that's why the IDF is allowing this to happen. One of the consequences, though, is that over 50%, I think the number was something like closer to 60% of all structures within the Gaza Strip have been either damaged or destroyed. And so there is not really places for most of the civilians to return to that you could call home. A lot of buildings no longer exist or are so damaged that they can't be reoccupied. And so it is a terrible plight for the civilians there in Gaza City, I'm sorry, the civilians in the Gaza Strip, that there is no safe place to go, and Hamas is taking advantage of the fact that they can move around. When Rafah was cleared, when they were told to civilians to leave so that the IDF could then go in and clear the tunnels and root out Hamas, Hamas left also. Hamas, a lot of Hamas members moved with the civilian population, and that's where the fighters are coming from that are erupting with this fighting throughout the rest of the Gaza Strip.
You're absolutely right. And that further adds to the need of that post-war plan. If you look at what's going on right now, the fighting continues. There's about one hospital left in that area. All the other ones have been bombed and, destructed from the war. What will life look like for these people? Because we already know before October 7th, there was already that looming humanitarian crisis. But if you take nothing, or you take a lot from nothing, what does that leave you?
The Israelis do not have a plan. They have not announced a post-war, the day after the end of this conflict, as to how the life will return to normal there in the Gaza Strip. They just have not announced how they plan to do that. And that is why you saw Benny Gantz leave the government, is the lack of a plan, the lack of a day after plan. There was talk about perhaps using the Palestinian Authority to come in along with international troops to try to restore order to the area once the IDF pulls out of there. There's a possibility that the IDF may not be able to pull out of there, that they may still have to occupy the area. There's just no plan that has been at least released to the public that I'm aware of. And that has caused a lot of concern there on the part of some of the members of the government there in Israel. And so how they're going to get back to life as normal is not clear. But keep in mind, though, that Hamas was the one on October 7th that invaded Israel, killed Israelis, grabbed hostages, and went back into the Gaza Strip, and then waited to be able to cry out to the international community that they are being victimized. This is all part of their grand strategy, and so the grief that is going on in the Gaza Strip is due to the actions of Hamas.
Ken Gray, always a pleasure speaking with you for these breaking news alerts. We thoroughly appreciate your perspective and expertise. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything myself and the viewers need to be keeping a close eye on? Because as you just mentioned, the ground invasions could potentially continue. Not to mention, we can't forget about what's going on with Hezbollah all simultaneously.
Absolutely. That's the point that I would make is that there are actions going on all along the border. Just the other day, 18 IDF members were injured, one severely injured, when a drone attack occurred across in the northern Golan Heights, carried out by Hezbollah. So the activities continue by Hezbollah, and that part continues to heat up. And we may be seeing the opening of a second front here. It may become a regional conflict, which we've been concerned about all along.
Ken Gray, thank you again for joining us bright and early on this Tuesday morning here on Live Now from Fox. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.